Bam! System disabled. Who wants Italian? I'm buying. Tiramisu for everybody.
Sponsored by Squarespace. Click the links below.
Let's just say we're four brothers from New York who hate bullies and love this city.
Have you ever seen a producer or actor admit their previous film is garbage as they're promoting the sequel to that very film? Well, here's just that.
It's very exciting to us because I feel like we really didn't get to know the Turtles as well in movie one.
The boys, Andrew Fulham and Brad Fuller, who have been there for both films, have said they were trying to find it in the editing room, and there were decisions that were made. Going into this one, the feeling was like, oh yeah, no. Okay, we've got it now.
The first Michael Bay Turtles movie was just that controversial. So much anger online, from the designs to casting Shredder as a white guy, only to badly reshoot it later. I guess they didn't know samurais were Japanese. That casting director must have been feeling pretty silly.
I thought the bitch was white! God damn it! I thought the bitch was white! Fuck!
While the first entry focused more on humans with a gritty tone, fighting humans with guns and eating people, the sequel is the opposite. 2 years later came TMNT, Out of the Shadows from 2016. Named after an unrelated video game that released years ago for some reason. Hey, we got the license tie-in already. This was all about the turtles going up against other ninjas and mutants from the cartoons while learning that being a turtle is awesome. And if you notice, their faces got a bit smoother, more colorful, less clutter on them. This was a big apology for the first, but is it enough to save the film? Well, is there a part 3? It's Juice and Jam time!
This speech is my recital.
Bogey's on the bus.
I think it's very vital.
Hit the button.
On top. Here we go.
2 years later in 2016, the trailer dropped to TMNT, Out of the Shadows. I remember being given permission to watch the preview. It was one of the few bits of joy I had during that hostage crisis. Seeing these clips cut to Run DMC's Tricky made us all forget how average the first film was. This was total damage control with a director who was a big fan. Thanks so much, Dan Green the 16th, beloved director of Coyote vs. Acme. So we got the Shredder and Krang and Bebop and Rocksteady and the Technodrome and Casey and Baxter Stockman and the Foot Clans are actual ninjas with swords and flips, and like any 80s cartoon, there's parachutes. If only they had parachutes on this banned Australian movie poster setting the first film's release date on 9/11.
Ho ho! Y'all got jokes, huh?
TMNT 2 Out of the Shadows is a lot of fun if you ignore how sporadic the plot is. It opens to Shredder's return, once a mysterious figure whose face remains obscured is now just this guy, Out of the Shadows. But look at that, it's such a blatant recast, the two don't look similar at all. Oh, hey, Shredder's back. As a totally different actor, likely he was more recognizable for 136 episodes of whatever Chicago Medical is. On the topic of Shredder, here's this odd scene I forgot to bring up from the first movie.
Shredder.
Okay, how the hell did you two ever meet? Splinter lived in this damn sewer for years, afraid of the outside world. What, was Shredder a plumber at one point? Did Splinter tour Japan, leaving his kids behind? How do you two know each other? None of that is explained in part 2 either. But what about the other villain from the first? Exciting evil businessman, Eric Sachs.
Take it off!
Well, he's not even mentioned in the sequel's news report flashbacks, and no one ever brings him up. Oh well, that's the last of his character. Maybe they'll bring him back as a joke in some future Turtles cartoon. Make him some weirdo that likes to wear bootleg Shredder armor in his office after hours.
The Turtles have to have tits. They have to have large tits.
So the Foot Clan are busting nuts and busting out their leader while the Turtles drive in to prevent it. And look, the Turtle van feels actually massive enough to fit them. Plus it shoots manhole covers and has robot arm nunchucks like a damn toy. Compare that to the first movie where it shoots a missile and looks so claustrophobic. I don't blame them, it only showed up for like 30 seconds. I'm sure it was done with whatever crap the prop department had available. Just put the satellite dish on it, and we got some solar panels. Just put that on there. Yeah, that's real useful for heroes who operate at night. Then again, they are out of the shadows. Or maybe they're just letting it charge during the day. Like, just leave it out on the bad side of town. It'll be fine there.
Where am I?
So during the breakout, Shredder gets warped into an alien ship. Here he meets the alien Krang, the Krangtorius Clitoris, who just info dumps him. Apparently all his ship parts are scattered across the world, so they gotta go out there and retrieve it so he can summon a Death Star-like weapon over New York and destroy it. That's the plot. Like, bro, we just met and Shredder is just cool with this. It's a globe-trotting adventure all across the world from New York to Brazil and nowhere else. Hey, where else do you need to be? There's also a subplot where the turtles want to live above ground, but can't, until they find a chemical that could change them into humans. This conflict divides the team, yet they kinda drop it near the end. They're like, hey, we gotta save the world, forget about that stuff. It's a bit disconnecting that they accepted being turtles, yet the scene after, they're insecure about saving people above ground for a bit. That insecurity remains for a couple of seconds.
Let's just say we're four brothers from New York who hate bullies and love this city.
It feels like they should have learned self-acceptance as they were saving people. Maybe have the humans afraid of them, but the turtles don't care. They're saving the city regardless.
That beard running off of 3 AAA batteries out.
Cyrax.
The next film, Mutant Mayhem, basically did that. But I get it. A big motive to become human was the police wanting to shoot them thinking they were monsters.
Get down on the ground. Wait, we're the good guys. Get on the ground.
Hey, wait, in the last movie they were bulletproof.
We're bulletproof.
Sweet. So either they forgot or it's the principle of the matter. I don't know. April also jumped in to shield them. Maybe she was so emotionally caught up and forgot they were bulletproof. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt, okay?
What are those things? They're monsters. They're monsters!
We're not monsters.
They're monsters!
I love this scene so much. It's so damn hammy. I always come back to it every so often just to laugh at it.
Go! Go now!
We'll be back with more Turtles after this.
Whoa, you must be a serious Turtle action fan. Keep watching the Fox Box. A new episode of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles premieres later this morning.
But first, this video is sponsored by Squarespace. Got an idea for a cartoon? Want to host a website, organize your art, or sell stuff? You need a website. Squarespace. From so many easy templates, you can use their fluid engine to customize your site for all your needs. Posting your art on social media is a disorganized mess. You need a portfolio of your best work. Currently, I'm constructing the site for my upcoming Loki IRL pilot featuring character bios, model sheets, their interests, art, fan art, style guides, favorite songs. Keep it organized. Go to squarespace.com for a 14-day free trial. If you're ready to look professional, get 10% off a site using my link. Squarespace.com/RebelTaxi. Check the description below.
It's turtle time right now. Coming up next, it's the high voltage action of Static Shock. And later on, it'll be time for the Teen Titans to put on their capes.
Another mishandle was the turtle friend and vigilante Casey Jones. They took a character who was kind of a dumb, lovable musclehead and really softened him up. This Casey, played by the CW's Arrow, feels like a narc trying to blend in. He's a police officer that dreams of being a detective someday. Other than some moments of anger, he's just too vanilla.
That's Officer Jones, and I'm gonna be a detective someday.
This is like if you had a less violent Punisher aspire to be a clean-cut cop. Casey was cool because he looks like he would leave his kids in a hot car. This new guy sucks because he bothered to roll the windows down. Look, I don't blame the actor. It seemed like a good character arc at first. Casey starts as a cop, the system doesn't work, and he takes the law into his own hands. Thus, he becomes the trashy Casey we know.
Damn it!
Although, it doesn't really go that far, and by the end of the film, they're all just friends with the police and work together. I can't help but feel this was a product of the film's need to be more family-friendly than the first. Lots of interviews mention that.
In the first film, like, the Foot Clan had guns, and in this movie they have swords, so we were trying to move away from something that would have a parent say, you can't bring your kid to this. I mean, after all, the goal is for the parents to enjoy it as much as the kids.
The appeal to families did make it more like the cartoons, though I guess at the price of Casey not being as much of a bastard. It's kind of like the 1990s movies. The first was seen as too violent, almost resembling the Warriors if you squint your eyes. Yet the sequel was greatly toned down to the point that Casey wasn't even in that. Vigilantes have no place in a family film, I guess. It's for kids. They really market the message about, hey, be proud of who you are, and cops are your friends. Turtles are honorary cops now. Trust the cops, even though they tried to shoot them an hour ago.
We will shoot! Get down on the ground!
You are not immune to copaganda or funky copaganda.
Funky cops, doing the hustle. Funky cops from all in the beat, and I mean me.
At least the villains, Bebop and Rocksteady, lighten up the film. This frat boy duo were like the best part, stealing every scene they're in. They're just a joy to be around.
My man! This is awesome!
Fans have been waiting to see them live since the 80s, and with the usual Michael Bay produced films known for their crude humor, those gags were used for them rather than the Turtles, which feels appropriate. Like, imagine if Mario was farting in his movies, that'd be horrible. But if Wario was in there doing it, we'd be giving a standing ovation while snorting the scratch and sniff cards.
Hey, do not make eye contact with us.
As with their origins, Bebop and Rocksteady were human until they were mutated with animal DNA, which led to that subplot of the Turtles thinking they could alter their DNA. Like, this new chemical they modified with no direct testing, they think this'll make them into perfectly normal people. I wish they did commit to it. Like, what if they cut to a high school in between classes, kids at the locker as the Turtles show up in their human forms, and they end up looking like the Garbage Pail Kids?
Come on, kids, take a shot. Show them what we really got.
Different!
This is their life now. This is the entire Turtles franchise from here on out. No reboots. Weirdly shaped ninja humans, weirdly shaped ninja humans, weirdly shaped ninja humans, heteros with back pain, human power. Regretfully, the franchise pussed out and stuck to them being Turtles. Forever. Well, at least we can watch them face their arch enemy, the Shredder.
Oh, curse those meddling mutants. How will I ever be able to sustain my loose and immoral lifestyle without abortion as my get-out-of-jail-free card?
Oh, wait. At no point in this entire film do the Turtles and Shredder interact with each other. Their arch-villain is never in the same room with not even a threatening phone call. All that happens to the Shredder is that he tells his goons to retrieve some alien machinery. He at least wears his iconic costume, which kind of looks ass. All that happens to Shredder is he pisses off the alien Krang, who freezes him and puts him away for a sequel that never happened. Oh, and there's references to other characters here. Remember those bastards? I do. I had the DVD. Is anyone really asking for a part 3 to these movies? Anyone at all? Though, remember Ready Player One, the movie about an online game in the future? You had gamers role-playing as copywritten characters. Somehow, in the year 2045, a group of guys are keeping the Bay Turtles afloat, and it's definitely not because the film asked studios to borrow whatever 3D assets they had. There has to be a cultural relevance, right? We also got that one banned German Turtles commercial straight up stealing Raph's design to advertise this. So here's a twist. This ad was uploaded to Vimeo in 2008, 6 years before the Bay films. Yeah, I'm confused too. I guess bulking up Raph here and giving him a do-rag, they just happen to look alike. Did they seriously build such a great turtle costume all for this 30-second ad? It's bulky, but should be flexible enough to beat the Foot Clan considering how weak they are here. I guess without their guns, they're just kinda useless. Megan got lucky knocking out Karai, Shredder's second in command, and same for Will Arnett utterly obliterating one. What is he, getting workers' comp? Get your ass up! You know, thinking it over, even when they had guns prior, the Turtles wiped them out every time. What can you expect? The Shredder has been known to hire scrawny teenagers. Here's $5 an hour, go steal TVs and crap. You think any of them knew they were going to fight sewer mutants going into this? They're not ninjas, they're just guys looking for a job. Oh no, those end credit designs. The undomesticated Pog faces. No thank you. Keep that Pog to yourself. It has its problems, but Out of the Shadows is pure dumb fun. It's a big step up, yet the script was too cluttered and made far less in ticket sales than the first. Sure, the original made a lot of money, but just because people watched it doesn't mean they'll be leaving the theater willing to pay for a second go. From my personal experience, I have never met anyone that liked the first movie. The Michael Bay produced Turtle films came and went, starting from okay to it was pretty good. I'm not really yearning for a third film, as it kinda peaked in the beloved elevator sequence anyway. I'm the nostalgia critic. I remember to check for landmines so you don't have to.
Oh, the Ninja Turtles! Oh, you get out of my laundry mat! Oh!
It's Turtle Time! Turtles were at the dock, testing out their armorized fighting gear and tough new weapons when... What smells like low tide? Armorized Shredder and his Foot Ninja! This heavy metal battle needs heavy firepower, like the Turtles Pogo Copter from the sky! We're flying! The Critter crying! And the Turtle Sub from the sea!
Yo, Shredder! Get wetter! Guys, I really wanted a meatball sub!
It's time to come out of your shell! New fighting gear turtles with interchangeable armor. Turtle Sub Pogo Copter, each sold separately.
Turtles defend fetuses with honor.